Hey, how you doing? Guess what? It's story time on how I started with solar power and renewable energy and all that good stuff. So I'm going to take you through the evolution of how I started and where I got to. We're going to look at some of the stuff that I bought years ago to get ready for, a power outage, and how I went from small scale to big scale. Well, not huge scale, but just usable do-it-yourself home type off-grid, partial off-grid stuff. So let's take a look at something here that I just found in the garage over here on the shelf. Dun dun dun! This is an old Vector Max SST inverter. It's a modified sine wave, 700 watts, as you can read. I got this in, let's see, I was stationed in Florida, and we had just went through a couple of big hurricanes and evacuations, and I went to the auto parts store, and they had one of these, and I said, well, I better get one of these. I could hook up to the truck and run an extension cord into the house, not even thinking about solar as a power source. Whereas you can just hook up jumper cables or whatever, alligator clips to your truck or car battery, and then run an extension cord into the small little townhouse I had, like 700 square foot. And I kept this in a plastic bin and really didn't use it when I was in Florida. And then in 2006, see, I had this for about 2 years. I got it in about 2004, 2003. 2006, moved here and sat on the shelf. Just to have something there in case something does happen. Well, something did happen, the tornado in 2013. Now that's how many years? 4, 5, 7 years. Tornado came through, and guess what? We lost power, and I had to have, the fridge and the lights and TV, essentially very similar to what I have here, going. So I pulled this dog out and hooked it up to my truck's battery, ran an extension cord and a power strip, powered that fridge. I had a different small little LCD TV, the radio, stereo, and just some USB stuff. This thing worked great for that. Worked great. But the problem, of course, is current draw. Yeah, I had power, but a truck battery is a starter battery. It's not a deep cycle, it's not a solar, it's not a renewable energy type battery. So my problem was I had to fire up the truck every couple hours because the voltage got too low. And I also learned that Chevrolet has a battery save mode on their trucks, meaning that if the voltage gets too low, it just cuts off everything. So that was good too. And this thing also has a low battery cutoff too. Or maybe it was just this. I don't know if it was in the Chevy because I was directly connected. But anyway, this thing worked great for what I needed. And then I got thinking, what if I need to do something different? So what I did, this was with my old truck, I went and got a red top, Optima red top for the old truck, AGM style, and took the battery that was in the truck and put it into this, which is just a battery box I got from Walmart. And I hooked up a little 12-volt adapter here, some switches, some lights, had a little ammeter deal in there. Put the battery inside here, mounted the inverter on the side here, and when I wasn't using it, I used a little battery tender to keep it charged up. And that's what I ran for about a year or so. And then I got thinking, why don't I just get one solar panel and see how that works? Well, I didn't know anything, a whole heck of a lot about solar panels, so I guess I needed one of these little deals. This is just a little PWM Chinese HQRP solar charge controller. It's good for about 10 amps. Working voltage is 12 volts or 24 volts. And worked pretty good. And then I said, well, hey, I'm getting, this is like in the wintertime, I'm getting pretty good power. What if I use 2 solar panels, get up to 10 amps? So then I got 2 solar panels. And I was like, wow, man, I'm getting pretty close to 10 amps. This is working really good. So then I went down to the parts store and got a deep cycle battery. And then I got 2 batteries. I said, well, I can store more power. And then, let's see, and I got 4 panels. And I said, well, maybe I need to get a bigger one of these. So then I got a, hang on one second here. So then I got one of these. It's a EP tracer, 30 amps solar charge controller. I also got the optional meter with this too. So that worked out pretty good. And then I ran that for about 6 months or so, and then I got the Midnite Solar Kid solar charge controller, and that showed watts. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I ran that for a while, and I went down to Walmart and got size 29 DC batteries, 6 of them, and they were inexpensive, like $100 a piece, with pretty good amp hours, and ran those for about a year or so. And wow, this is really cool. And then I started building more and got more solar panels and all this. Then I got more knowledgeable with it, and talking with people on YouTube, making friends and all that. And I said, well, I want more power. More power is good. And I got the classics over here, as you can see. And then, I'm not going to get you up to speed on everything that's recent here, but then I got the Outback Power VFX 3524. I got the Reliance Controls transfer switch, and lo and behold, I'm powering all the essential circuits in my house now. And all this started was just in case we lose power, starting back in Florida with the hurricanes, just to have lights, fridge, and TV. Now I'm doing everything in the house, partial off-grid. So I'm running, excuse me, right now with the winter I'm only running maybe about 9 hours of off-grid, just because the storage and the sun is it's compromised in the wintertime with the angles and the amount of light and stuff. But I've gotten up to 14 hours, before the solstice occurred, fall solstice, and it's just running great. So this all started 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, with this old dog, and now I'm finally getting up to speed with renewable energy. But I kept this. Isn't that cool? So that's how I started. My evolution. This has taken years to get to this point, and it's expensive doing renewable energy. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't happen overnight unless you got a big wad of money, set aside to do it, and lots of time. For me, I just want to perfect it and learn it, and make sure I take my time and do it right, and not hurt myself or burn the house down, for that matter. But that's where I'm at, and I'm very happy with what I got going now. And it seems like when you get the bug, it's like, man, the sky's the limit. You want to go 240 volt system. You want big honking tracking arrays and all kinds of cool stuff. So, but with those big dreams come big money. But you can do a small system with like get a pure sine wave 1000 watt inverter, and maybe 500-600 watts of solar panels and a few batteries, and you can do a lot with that and not spend $10,000-$15,000 on your system. But just hopefully this helps you out and kind of let you in on where I'm at and where I came from doing renewable energy. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see you.